Okay, so today I wanted to talk about birth control and exactly what it's used for, because I've seen some comments and tweets and stuff around the internet during my lifetime, and it just seems like there's people who apparently don't know exactly what it's used for. And I don't know if this is just because health and sex has failed them or if they slept during class or what, but of course, that wouldn't shock me because my own health teacher was actually my PE teacher, who was a guy that only liked sports, and instead of actually teaching us health, he just had us watch Super Size Me and play Hangman. I wish I was kidding, but no. So there's actually two things that inspired this video. The first one being from a Mr. Matt Walsh, who is an Olympic figure skater, I believe. If you actually cannot afford birth control, then you are not nearly mature or responsible enough to be having sex in the first place. Now, this tweet is actually more about the Affordable Care Act being repealed, which is a different thing entirely, so disregard that. The other thing that inspired this is actually a comment that came from my 50 Facts About Me video that was a pretty recent video. She said, "I take birth control daily. Guess she gets laid every day." Okay, so let's talk about something. The main thing that I want to say is birth control is not just for sex. I repeat, birth control is not just for sex. I'm 25 years old. I first became sexually active at 23, so that was only 2 years ago. I have been taking birth control since then. But I have actually been taking birth control since I was 16 or 17 years old for one reason. Okay, a couple of reasons that all are like bundled into one big reason. Menstruation, cramps, lots of vomiting, and lots of being threatened to pass out because my body sucks. So I was on birth control for 6 or 7 years because of my menstrual cycle, because all of that was messing with my body. Birth control is very much used for things like that. For other medical conditions like EDS, you can use it for acne, you use it for many different things. And you can also use it to help prevent pregnancy. But that's not the only thing that it's used for. So there's that. We've covered what exactly birth control is used for. Now, going back to the comment that says, I guess she gets laid every day because she takes it every day, I have a feeling you don't quite understand how birth control works. At least the birth control pill. There's different kinds of birth control. The pill, the IUD, the shot, there's a patch. If there's anything else, I'm not sure. Now, I take the pill, which requires me to take it every single day. 1 pill a day. Except for the placebo pills, which I am allowed to skip if I want to, which I do. I used to take them, but now I don't because I don't know, whatever. Last time I checked, you don't really need to take them, so okay. The birth control pill does not, even if you are just using it to help prevent pregnancy while having sex, it's not a pill that works the same as a condom. You don't take the pill right before you're having sex and then, like, say I'm going to have sex on a Monday. I don't take the pill, go do, and then don't take the pill or not take the pill Tuesday through Thursday, and then, oh, I'm gonna have sex again on Friday, now I'm gonna take the pill just before I do that. And then I go have sex. That's not how it works. In order for it to work effectively, I gotta take it every day. That's how it helps prevent pregnancy. Now, even if I'm not using it for sex, I am in a long distance relationship. That means I go months without having sex. For example, I'm by myself for half a year. So I'm not going to be having sex during this time. But I still have a menstrual cycle. So I'm still going to be using the pill for reasons I said before. I don't want heavy cramps. I don't want so much blood coming out of me. And I don't want to be nauseous all the time. So I still got to take that every day in order for it to do what it needs to do to keep my body calm. And that's pretty much it. If you still don't understand how it works, may I suggest a biology book? The internet. You can't believe everything on the internet, but I think the internet has a pretty good grasp on what birth control is and what it's used for. If you want to follow me on all of my social media, links to that down below. If you want to help support me on Patreon, link to that will be down below. If you prefer to do a one-time tip, there's a coffee link down below. I upload every Monday and Thursday unless otherwise stated, and I'll see you later. Bye!